Howdy friends, welcome. Well, here's what's gonna happen all around this farm today. So I've been working on this incredible piece of junk. I'm gonna stop working on this thing right now. I've done a little bit more research and I've come up with some thoughts. So, with the symptoms that this tractor seems to be really giving me, and a little bit of research I was able to do, and a lot of reading and checking this and checking that. My thought is that the C2 clutch is probably shot in that thing, or the bolts broke, or all of the above. Because if you look at this little map I've got here, it says that first gear uses C1 and C3, and that one slips a little bit. And third gear uses, I think, what does it say there? And that one slips a little bit. And reverse uses C2 and C4, and that slips a little bit. And second is the only one that works really good and doesn't slip. In fact, it pops wheelies. I've seen it happen. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen to this thing. But I don't want to work on this right now. Not that it's going to be a huge job to get her split, I don't think. But don't feel like it right at the moment. I'd rather work on my Versatile because that doesn't have any of these slipping problems that this thing has. Versatile needs it's got some cosmetic issues and a little bit of this and that. It needs a shifter tower rebuilt, so all of that's going to be way easier than working on this. So I'm just going to get this right out of here and forget about it for a while because I'm sick of looking at it already. Hate to say it, but guys, you win some, you lose some. I'm glad I didn't pay much more than scrap price for that because depending on what it cost for me to work on that transmission, this thing's going to be a losing battle forever. But the darndest thing is it runs so good. This thing runs like a top. And I don't want to just throw it away because even if I can get a C2 clutch for it, I found them on eBay for about 250 bucks. So, but at that point when I get in there, what else am I going to find? Who knows? So this is going to be put on the back burner for a little while. And I'm going to work on something cooler than this. What are you just sitting outside the door here waiting? You little motor mouth. Well, I ain't going in yet. You're going to have to wait. Yeah, guys, I think it might be wise for me to jam the 1105 out first, put the case way back there and forget about it and put the 1105 on the end here for when I need it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I bet you this one fires right up. Never lets me down most of the time. Just like I figured. All right. Out we go, big girl. Gonna be close. Made it. So much fun playing musical tractors around here, friends. So much fun. And I wasn't joking about that. It actually is a lot of fun. Okay, we'll let this one warm up a little bit. And that old girl sure does sound nice too. But task at hand, like I said, kind of want to work on this instead. This I actually have use for. The case, I got plenty of stuff. I don't really need that case for much, but this, I'm pretty excited to get going. Look at that. That dome light works. All right. Okay, big girl. Nice. Okay, we'll just let this one warm up for a few minutes while I'm putting the other two away, and then we'll put this one in there. That sounds nice too. Okay, now for contestant number 3 here. And the key just started miraculously working good too. Go figure. All right, let's get this thing out of here. And guys, I just don't know what to make of this thing yet. I mean, it works. It just doesn't work very darn well in some gears. But I think if I had to back it uphill, we'd be out of luck. There. That can just sit right there till I regroup and come up with a new plan for that. Don't worry, I'll do something awesome with it. I don't know what that's gonna be yet, but it'll be something. I'll probably just end up splitting it and fixing it, but like I said, the important thing is I don't wanna do that right now. That's kind of lower on the priority, or it's lower on the what does JT want to do today list. I'd say it's right at the bottom of that list. Get this guy back in here. There, just like that, everybody's out of the weather. Okay. At least I can say on the case, it does have all new fluids in it, which it hasn't had in could be a lot of years. So I don't feel bad about that. And like I said, if I can get it apart and get a C2 clutch for it, because if reverse worked better than it did now, I wouldn't care that much, because first works okay and second works great. Third doesn't work at all. And I mean that on the power shift ranges, not the gears, but whatever. Get to it, we'll get to it. Let's get the cool stuff out, guys. Not a lot of room for error in that one, guys, but you know what? Who cares? Went in, got still room to walk around it. It's more than I would have had last year at this time, so yay for me. All right, friends, now that I got this thing in here, let's talk about what I want to do with this. So first off, fuel filter, just the same as always on everything I drag home. Fuel filters, oil change, probably do a coolant filter on this one. It's got some filters underneath. Might as well change those while I'm changing stuff. Now, here's a fun fact. So if you caught the first video, Brian pointed out this plug in here that shows that this is a reman engine, which it is. I was looking at this. Let's see, how can I get that? The tag here. So on one of 2,000, this 350 horsepower Big Cam 3 Cummins was remanufactured. Don't know when it was put in here, probably sometime after that, but hey, I don't know. So hey, that's even better. Now I got an extra 40 horse I didn't even know I had, up to 350. So that's cool. Way to go. I'm gonna have to come up with something for a muffler, or even just a tailpipe, I don't know. It does have a pretty big hole in the bottom here, so maybe a new muffler's in my future. They're only about $700, so hey, whatever. She's gonna need tires, but guys, I'm gonna run these tires till this tractor spits them off. That's just all there is to it. Now, a little greasy inside. It's definitely gonna need a power wash, which I'll do. I'm not gonna do it today, but I'm gonna do it. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I got to get the tower out of it so I can rebuild that shifter. That way I can get it into all the gears. And well, actually, I mean, that's not totally true. I don't seem to have much trouble shifting it now. The only time I ever had any trouble with it was when I first drove it and I got it stuck between two gears for a second. Well, that problem solved itself. And if you're a little bit more ginger with the shifter, it doesn't do that. But again, stuff that I should just be fixing on it anyway, just so I know that it's right. It's got a pretty horrendous drawbar on it. But honestly, friends, I mean, the drawbar on my 1805, which is almost about half of what this tractor is just as good as that one. But whatever, who's keeping score? Might want to see if I can get some lights. I think actually these two lights work. No other lights on the tractor work, but these two, I think. In fact, let's try that out. And the dome light. I just can't get over. I've never had a tractor with a dome light. How interesting is that? So these are lights. Nope, they don't pull. Yeah, see, I got lights back there. Even got dash lights, so that's pretty nifty. But nothing about that. Now, at least I got some lights that work, so it won't be hard to get more lights working on this. I want to take this carpet out and set it on fire. I'm guessing at this point it probably won't burn because it's in such awesome condition. I really don't need to put any cab foam in this thing right off the bat here, friends. It has most of it. It just needs to be washed really, really bad inside. It's filthy. Now, of course, none of this works. Whatever. I'm not concerned with that. It'd be cool if it did, but I mean, hey, whatever. I can live without, I don't need that. At least I got some working gauges. You know, the important ones. I got oil. I got a volt gauge, temperature. But again, not a lot of stuff I really need to do inside. It would be cool if I get the radio to work. Maybe it just, maybe I just put another radio right in here and forget about that one. We'll see. See how much work it is to get this guy off of here. But that's, I mean, otherwise, friends, I don't have a whole lot more that I really need to or want to do to this. You know, just a couple things to fix a few little drivability issues that it has, and a few, you know, cosmetic issues that it has, and you know, from there, just send it. Hook up whatever I got for a field cultivator, do my field cultivating at 22 miles an hour, because I'm sure this will do that. Okay, I'm not gonna go that fast. Don't panic. But yeah, friends, that's gonna be the long and short of this thing. Like I say, I think I'm gonna start with that shift tower first, because that's gonna be the most important thing to get working on this thing. That way I don't take a chance on putting her in more than one gear. I mean, you can drive an ugly tractor. I choose not to, but it can be done. And an oil change sure wouldn't hurt either, because who knows that, hey, I got a rebuilt engine. I don't want to screw it up. Might as well get that oil changed. Well, guys, we're back a couple of days later. Not very many days, and it got cold really fast. So I think I'm going to start on here. Really, the most important thing, and the only thing that's really wrong with this tractor, I can get that shift tower out of there. So what my biggest concerns is that I can get it into reverse pretty good. I can get it into third pretty good. But on this side, she's sloppy on this side. And like I said, I've had this thing get stuck between two gears before. So that's coming out. I'm going to rebuild it. If it works better, great. If it doesn't work better, well, I'll know how to shift it. I just got to be, I gotta manhandle this thing. Make sure it's in neutral before I go into reverse or another gear. So that way none of those things happen. Then clean the inside of this cab out. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or not. I'm going to get that shifter out of there, make an assessment, and see what I got to buy for parts, and let's go from there. Oh, and while I'm on the subject of paint and body, if I'm wrong, let me know. But looking around this tractor, The only spot on this tractor that really needs any paint, that decal come off, it's rusty right there. Does it need paint there? I don't know. Another decal would certainly cover that up. And this frame rail right here. This frame rail will definitely need to be painted. The rest of this tractor is in, I mean, there's a little rub spot right there, but it ain't bad. Rest of this tractor's in pretty good shape. And I know I like to paint tractors, guys, but the tractors I like to paint are rusty. And I mean, garbage, or they're painted bad, or they got bad paint on them. Now this one doesn't. The paint's old and faded, but it's not all cracked up. My 1155 had paint that was cracked like you can't believe. A lot of guys give me crap for painting that because they said it's original paint, don't paint it. It was not original paint. Someone already painted it and they painted it terribly. This one, that is original paint on there. Then my 1105 was a complete rust bucket. If you don't remember, go back and look at that 1105. It was terrible. My 1800 was pretty rusty. My 1805 was basically brown. It wasn't even, there was no getting red back on that. It was mostly rusted out anyway, but I'm gonna try something real quick here. Guys, like I say, I know I like to paint stuff, but at the same time, there's reasons for that. I like to paint stuff because when you get done with what you're painting, the feeling that of accomplishment is really great. Now, with paint correction, you're right there as well. And once you're done, you can say, wow, that really turned out nice. I like that. And so I thought maybe with this tractor, and you know, if I buff it all out and hate it, I'm still gonna use it that way for a year before I paint it. But maybe we'll buff it all out and I'll like it. I mean, just look at what cleaning it does right there. So I thought, just for fun, let's try this. Let's buff this fuel tank here and see how it turns out. Okay. Now it's important to get everything clean, friends. When I go to buff the whole tractor, of course I'll wash it, but that's going to take at least most of the other bad stuff off. Now, what I'm using here, this is a Wizard's Turbo Cut. This is the heaviest cutting compound. If I were wet sanding a vehicle, this is what would bring the shine back. So that's what I'm going to start with on here. I do have a finish cut, which is, well, obviously a little bit down lighter on the scale here. So, you know, for whatever it's worth. I'm going to try, this is what I used when I buffed my 6600 here a few months ago. I didn't do a video on that. I just showed you in the field, look how shiny this is, and it was really shiny. But this is a good place to start is with the turbo cut. You can come back later with the finished cut and buff it out, and then kind of put some wax or a protectant of some sort on it. But enough talking. Let's give it a minute. Let's see what she says. And I'm using, this is more of a slow polisher with just a wool wheel on it. I got a better polisher that I use with a foam wheel. I like the wool wheel for buffing stuff like this. In fact, I'll do you one better. There, I'll just buff the top half of this. We'll see how she turns out. What do you think? I mean, if my tractor looked just like that, I can live with that. Sure beats the hell out of what it was looking like. So now guys, just picture this whole tractor shining just like that with some new decals. Now you can see why maybe this is one that I won't paint. Not that I'm not doing body shop stuff to it, because obviously I am. Look at that reflection. Not bad, not bad. This tractor's gonna be pretty top notch. But again, now I've got way off course. I still gotta get that shifter out. Let's get that done so I can call it a day today. All right guys, apologies for the limited space. There ain't a lot of room to work in this quarters, but I don't know what it's gonna take to get this out of here, but I know what I'm gonna try. And I'll bet every one of these has a nut under it. Because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they have a nut to make my life miserable? I'll be darned. Who'd have thought, looking at this, that any of these would come out? There's still one left to break off. Outstanding. I'll be sure to put anti-seize back on all these when I put them back in. There's no doubt about that. All right, well, let's see what's under here besides the clutch. Well, let's try this again. Maybe some of you versatile guys knew this, but I didn't. And I'll show you what I'm talking about if I want to get this out of here. There. Okay. Interestingly enough, it's got these pins in there, which is great. I don't know how they got them in. They both go in from this way. I guess if you've got the shifter out, you could probably make that happen. But boy, otherwise they ain't going anywhere. So now I got my work cut out for me. I can see what I may or may not have to do. Probably didn't have to pull all this out of there. Maybe I did. Again, don't know. I know one of you versatile guys is going to let me know, but I didn't research any of this. I figured, well, can't be that much to it. Probably be able to figure it out. Here we are. Friends, let me share with you some of my deep thoughts here. Now that I've got this out of here, I don't honestly think the shifter's in that bad shape. I think that my linkage was probably not awesome underneath that transmission. Maybe a little looser. There's the bushings on the bottom that hook onto those forks. I think we may have had some problems there, but I don't think this guy's in all that bad shape, to be honest with you. But since I got it this far, might as well pull it apart and have a look. See what that ball in there looks like and go from there. Let's flip her around and see if I can get to it this way. All right, let's dig into here. Just see what we're dirking with here. I mean, if I ain't got to buy this part because it ain't wore out, that's terrific. If I can adjust my linkages a little bit, that's even better. When I bought this tractor, when he told me it shifted hard, I I didn't think it shifted all that hard, really. You just had to be on top of what you were doing is all. I learned that the hard way, but I mean, hey, whatever. Hopefully I don't have to call in some big dogs to help me get this back together, because I don't know what I'm getting into here. Besides a lot of grease. Shift ball, better make sure I don't lose that. I need a clean place to set this stuff. There's the ball for that one. I don't know, friends, but I'm telling you this. There is no play in this. The shifter moves easy enough. It's been greased, so that's good. I don't see where this is anywhere near super worn out, or worn out at all for that matter. I am about 1,000% sure that my linkage on that tractor is off. It didn't look right when I took it apart, and somebody welded on one of the rods. So I mean, that leads to be believed that somebody bent one once upon a time. Maybe this has already been through. I don't know, but like I say, there's no play, no lack of. Everything seems to work. I don't want to just put this back together. That one. I mean, it's a simple enough shifter. There's nothing to it whatsoever. Yeah, guys, I have no reason now to believe that this is actually any type of a problem on this tractor. She's going back. Don't know what to say, friends, except for I'm going to put this thing back together just the way she is. I can't foresee any reason why this was going to be any trouble to me. And now that I've had it all apart and looked at it, I mean, I could see if it were rusty inside or no grease or something along those lines, you know, obvious neglect. If the shifter handle had a ton of slop in it, but it doesn't. Everything is tight in there. So well, guys, I guess, like I say, I don't think that's a problem. All I got left to do today is I'm just going to jump up in there and put that back together. Wasn't that hard to get it out, so it won't be that hard to get it back in. We'll make a few adjustments down there. I'm going to replace the bushings on the bottom of those forks because maybe that's where some of that slop is coming in. And I think I'm going to run it. I think it's going to be fine. So I guess that's going to do it for me today, guys. I think next time we're around here, maybe we'll get the oil changed on this, maybe change some fuel filters, maybe start on some of that. And then back to the case, I guess. There won't be much more for me to do to this. I can't afford $9 grand for a couple of tires right now, so I'm just gonna run these ones till they fall right off the tractor. So I guess that's gonna do it for me and the Big Versatile today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. When you think you're the big dog on campus.
Please, as if you could handle even a fraction of my power.